hell. It's Base Trade TV.
Game number 1. It's a brand new best of 3. These are still the preliminary matches, so nobody's in danger of losing just yet. Spawning here to the top left side, he is going to be Team Liquid's blue Protoss, MaNa. His opponent to the bottom right is going to be the red Terran player, Kelazhur. And Alaska Winter is calling me out on name dropping. Well, I picked up that habit from the person I just name dropped. What can I say? Don't clip it. Don't ship it. I'm going to delete the VOD. First up says, so great to see you stream again, Base Trade TV. Just the other day, I had to think about you and seriously missed you. Hype! Well, my good friend, I'm glad that you enjoy me being back. I guess, yeah, I'm pretty much over being sick for the most part. I'm very excited to be back. It has been a crazy boring month for me, but yeah, we're getting back into casting. However, ooh. Okay, well, I'm going to do a little bit of self-serving nonsense, but MaNa's up to no good, and we should discuss this. However, quickly just mentioning, if you have missed a lot of the casting and you can't quite catch all these shows, we have our new YouTube channel set up, youtube.com/BaseTradeTV2, and I have done a lot of exclusive casts only for YouTube, because I didn't have the stamina to do like a full stream, but I could totally do like a 20-minute, 30-minute video, so while I've been sick and recovering, I've been uploading a lot of those games. No, it's not games where I'm just coughing a bunch. They actually are really good games. But yo, the casually explained video that we put up yesterday already has more views than every other video on the channel currently combined. So, like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Spoiler alert here. It's a 52-minute game. The map mines out. It's really fucking stupid, but it's also really fucking great. I got to cast it with Roddy. Genuinely, it was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen that one yet, check it out. But anyways, talking about what MaNa's doing. Proxy gateway, not a proxy starport. This is pretty indicative of the timing, but also with the lack of, like, you just don't have the gas to put up anything else right now. So if you're going to pump out stalkers like this, it can be really abusive. And this little bit of micro harassment with a probe is a big deal. Kelazhur is, in my opinion, maybe favored even a little bit when it comes to these two fighting, but I don't think he's going to see this coming. And there's not a lot he can really do different other than get a bunker down, and you need to start that bunker sooner rather than later. So as long as he can delay this command center and not let it finish, oh, for MaNa, this is going to be so worthwhile. That Marine just kind of walks off looking for a pylon, but there's none to be found up there. He does kill the SCV. He's going to pull so much if he wants to finish up the command center. An option some Terran players do, but nobody wants to do, is cancel this outright and then just start it up on the high ground where it's nice and safe. But oof, oof, and oofant. This Marine's also going to die, of course, if it gets caught. SCVs are pulled off the mineral line, but the amount of mining time Kelazhur will lose to get this command center up, not to mention the actual physical SCVs that are dying right now, is still so costly to him. And MaNa, I guarantee you for a second, he was contemplating ignoring the Marines and just killing the SCV on the command center, but you know what? Mission's still freaking accomplished. As long as he kills the defenders here, he'll be able to deny the base from mining. So it doesn't stop the command center from building. Look at that, he can't even afford to turn it into an orbital. And MaNa, that's a big read for MaNa. The fact that this isn't an orbital definitely means there's a tank or a liberator coming, something from that high ground. But okay. Pokes and pokes and pokes. Oh no, we got a little bit of toxicity in the chat. Pro tip, if you mute the stream, it can be much more enjoyable. Pro tip, if I ban you from chat, also a lot more enjoyable. Alright, so he's completely pushed us up to the high ground. Command Center is going to turn into an orbital up here, but he's just so far behind from this opener in every way. SCV count in the gutter at 18. Orbital command center starts so much later, so he's gonna have this mule, sure, but this should have been up a while ago. And it's not his fault necessarily. He didn't really go to scout. I guess you could kind of fault Kelazhur for. If an SCV had scouted, he would have seen only one pylon. So much suspicion would have been raised. So in that regard, him playing blind really is perhaps the core reason he may lose this series. Well, this game at least. Getting a little ahead of myself there. Stalker's now in the high ground. Not much they can do with that tank there, actually. If they had Blink, it'd be a different story, but they have like that ghetto Blink through this warp prism. He does force the tank to reposition. Threat of the starport going down, but I mean, this is so not committed out of MaNa. He's not warping anything to the high ground. He's not looking to take a fight. He's just harassing, keeping his opponent in check. Because while this went on, he set up his own Nexus. He started mining off of this. And, yeah. I heard one's in the chat. What's up, dude? I owe you a replay cast, too. That one game you sent me, I think I told you, does work. I was planning on taking care of that sometime later this week because obviously today and yesterday have required my full attention. But I am looking forward to it as I saw the length of it. But it's a TVT, so also I hate you. Alright, well, the Warp Prism should be able to catch anything that leaves the base. Banshee, Medevac, doesn't matter. Look at this. This is so bad for Kelazhur. I gotta say, MaNa is a guy often of low self-esteem in terms of ranking himself versus other people, but I have the pleasure of just casting really lucky, great MaNa games. So I've got a really high opinion of him, probably much higher opinion than he has of himself, to be honest. But I gotta tell you, man, this is some good shit going on. Even if MaNa somehow throws this game, just the opening has been damn impressive. Which, by the way, I hope MaNa doesn't throw this game. This is like a done deal. This is like tearing bow tie on this. Like you really got to work to mess this up, because all of what he's done so far has been minimal losses, right? Just the Zealot probe as an observer. Like he's gonna have a lot of Zealots now. Charge is done in literally seconds. This is gonna let him get up that ramp, get on top of those siege tanks. Best yet, with the observer, he can see that the siege tanks are currently unsieged. Fortunately, unfortunately, I should say, loses the observer. Up on the high ground, though, he's looking to split. Force fields will come on the backside. He's going to lock these units in place and stop the SCV. Well, okay, so tried to stop the SCVs from getting pulled. But the Immortal is going to be king in a land of unsieged tanks. And this does so much damage. Force fields finally break. He goes in. There's the GGs, and Liquid MaNa takes game number 1. Victory Condition asks, he undeployed the Warp Prism before the warp and finish. What happens to the units that didn't warp in? Refund? It's the same as if you cancel. It's not like you are still charged the money if the units don't go through. I think it does put a small cooldown on the gateways too, but I honestly don't remember off the top of my head because it's not an interaction I interact with much. Now, we're getting into Kairos Junction, and I actually have to talk about why I can't use the Kairos Junction intro anymore. So, for those who are not aware, I try and do everything by the book, and I license music, and I get permission to do things when and where I can, and I always try and go through the proper channels, right? I bought the audio track to the Kairos Junction intro off of Audio Jungle. I paid for the extra license too. I think I get to play it 1,000,000 times before I have to renew my license, and it's getting copyright claimed on YouTube, which is really annoying because I have a license for it. And when I try and dispute it, it's getting counter-disputed, despite the artist, through his feedback on the Audio Jungle page, saying that he's not refuting it. So I'm not sure if there's some kind of scam going on or what, but until I figure out what the deal is, sadly, I can't play the Kairos Junction anymore. I may end up remaking the intro with a different song, but yeah, I'm a little disappointed at how bad things have been getting with all this copyright claiming stuff. Article 13, whatever you want to call it, 17, BS. Anyways, not the negatives, just explaining why we're probably going to have to skip some of these intros. Because I love playing those map intros, man. I work hard on them. They're hype as hell. But we're getting into game number 2. Wicked25, thank you for the 4-month resub to the bottom right side. Ooh, he's going to have payback thrust upon him. It's the blue Protoss, MaNa, but he knows this too. He's looking for it. To the top left, he is about to get caught. It's Kelazhur. Now, Kelazhur goes for a proxy, and it's kind of a mild one, but it's in such an odd location. MaNa, whether it's the map itself or the player, he had this sick sixth sense that there was going to be a counter proxy play. Now, he is going to get over here. He is going to see the barracks. And unfortunately, about 2 patches ago, they made it a lot easier to target units that are building. So it should be fairly easy for the probe to target down that SCV, but I don't think he'll kill it before the barracks is done. This barely works out for Kelazhur. If that SCV was dead and the barracks was unfinished, that might even just be a tap out, to be honest. I hope it's not, but might be. Hawk Empire, thank you for these 7 months. Love the intros, Dancing Immortals especially. Yeah, actually, what's strange, it's only 2 series, so I can't speak on it yet. But yesterday, we had a lot of people picking King's Cove. We had King's Cove in almost every single series. But yet today, I don't think we've seen it once. And I'm not complaining. Just an interesting dynamic of the two different European groups and choices. Why are we hashtagging cheats in the chat? Who's cheating here? Power overwhelming? Hey, Turkey Dano's in the chat. What's up, Turkey Dano? Playing a lot of direct strike with us, brother. I'm not doing any good jobs observing. Let's get back to the game. Because this Reaper is about to get a 4th kill, maybe? Almost got 5. That one probe was one shot. That was actually really nice. Because especially when you see this coming, he scouted it as early as he did, for MaNa that is. You really expect those Reapers to be just blindly countered and shut down. But no, man. That killed 4... Well, 3 probes and I guess the 1 probe on the other side of the map. But still, 4 probes died. And the Reapers both lived. Gotta be careful here. The Stalker's coming up behind them. Well, the Reapers can certainly take on that Zealot. They're not gonna do so great against that Stalker. He does get he slips the SCV in the base. That was actually really cute. Cyclone's gonna be the weapon of choice to defend against this. MaNa not realizing the timing, or at least not sure on the timing, decides to start withdrawing. Those 2 Reapers head across the map, and if there's nothing at home defending, well, that's gonna hurt. I guess I didn't draw too much attention to it, but I do want to quickly note that we did have this really cool wall-off setup for MaNa, and that made things even more difficult for the Reapers to even have the opportunity to get into the base. This just, for me, furthers how impressive it was that he got 3 probe kills, almost 4 probe kills with that Reaper. Banshee follow-up. Did you actually get the high ground to see this at some point? No. And it's mech, by the way. I don't like mech versus Protoss. Those Reapers got caught. That sucks. I really don't like mech for versus Protoss. I'm not going to start hyping this up, but it can, in the early game, I think, have a lot of strength. However, when it comes down to it later on, Archons, Immortals, Carriers, it's all you need. It's all you need to shut this down. But Cyclones, and of course their upgrade, making them do so much damage to Armored, are always scary. So it becomes a game of glass cannons in some cases. For now, we're going to see a Banshee head out. Shield Battery is coming down in 1 of the mineral lines. So this will prevent the Banshee from getting too many worker kills, as long as MaNa micros correctly and is paying attention. Natural base for Kelazhur will be done shortly. He'll transfer that over. MaNa, however, has been mining off of his natural for quite a bit of time and is getting a lot of minerals to get ahead with, thanks to it. The Robo Bay. Man, does anyone else have trouble with this, by the way? I 1,000,000%. Anytime I say Robo, it's because I'm not sure if I'm talking about the Robo Bay or facility. I know what the building is, I know what it does, but I constantly mix up the names of the Robo Facility and the Robo Bay. At any rate, Robo Bay is on the way, so it means we're going to probably see some Colossus, maybe a Disruptor for later on once Liberators are in play, but Colossus are back already, man. People have been making Colossus in just about most of the PvTs I've been seeing, so I don't know. At a time, I would call it uncommon. Now it seems to be the go-to. Just call it the Colossus Den, says Turkey Dano. What is this, like some hybrid of Zerg and Protoss? What about this? Would this be the Probe Den? Wait, no, because this would be the Probe Den. Alright, it is Colossus, as expected. In this one weird scenario, I don't know how to... Okay, by the way, I should note, well, it was mech, and going to be mech for a time. I didn't quite catch that he had swapped back over. So barracks were built, production's going to be for bio. We're not going to have mech. This is the Probe Roost. Oh, thank you, Hunter. So we have the Colossus Den and the Probe Roost. This is the upgrade cage, right? Ah, here we go. 2 Banshees are sent to one-shot the probes through the shield battery. That's working out not too poorly at all, actually. There's about 5 probes. So some nice harass out of Kelazhur. I mean, this is one of those things where if left unfounded, those would have totally killed the Nexus. They got really low. Unfortunately, that thing's going to finish up, and when it's done building, it'll probably be at about, like, 70% health. Those Banshees got some good damage in. Great control, too, as he continues to stutter away from the Stalkers. I mean, he's not getting crazy Stalker kills, but these are too weak to give chase now. Falling back home to regenerate their shields. Takes about, what is it, like 10 seconds, I think it is? 10 in-game seconds back in the day, so maybe 7 now. I don't know if it got adjusted, but it takes a few seconds out of combat for the shields to regenerate. But I guess if you can go to a shield battery, hey, that works too. The Banshees were chased off by a pride of Stalkers. Oh my god, guys. This, like, David Attenborough terminology we're starting to bring into StarCraft 2 is not okay with me. It's just gonna... You think it's simplifying things. It's gonna make it so much worse. Alright, these are some pretty big drops. Marauders in store. Stim is done. Combat shields in literally seconds from now. Same with Zealot Charge, however. They're starting to focus on some of the pylons, but there's no in-control pylons here. So lucky for MaNa, he's not going to take too much from losing a pylon or two in the main. When normally it can be so much worse. But hey, I ran into this guy last night too. Jeremy, SC2. There's no marbles here today, but thank you for the 5 months. Oh, that transfer was an oopsies. That was a Dark Souls noping of the probes. Please give us your best Attenborough impression. It's bad. It's not going to happen. You guys have to realize, if you haven't heard me do accents on stream, no matter how hard I try, every accent just like devolves into Jamaican or Irish. Garlua 2986. Thank you for the 19-month resub. Glad to have you back on board. This observer from MaNa has had a keen eye on Kelazhur's army for quite some time. It's not quite the same as an Oracle casting Revelation, but he knows what's been moving out. He knows generally which direction it's been moving out. This should allow him to start positioning better. And yeah, he's already kind of pre-split some units. Colossus to the north, couple here down to, well, he had a couple. I think he brought another one back up. But he's got army split, so it shouldn't be too difficult to hold these small attacks. And this is going back to what the basic of Terran is, right? It's about trades. It's not about one big fight. So this is one of those things where you don't need to wipe out the medevacs. You just have to keep them from wiping you out. Colossus just going to zone those Marines out. Widowmite's getting an okay shot. He's got one Colossus in the main. If you had a second one with this would be a lot easier for him to just deflect. But he is dancing a little bit between the two bases because he doesn't quite know where the next attack comes from. Remember, his vision's kind of limited. He saw what was going on over here, but not where the angle of attack comes next, over here. Rifkin's English accent, clipped by Bacon Hero. Oh no, what is this? Is this a mistake to open?
You're advertising for Ting? Well, in Britain, we pay $5 for data. I'm like, yeah, but memes are illegal and you got Brexit, so fuck off to both.
I don't... That Theresa may or may not have been a topical joke at the time. All right. Tanks now set up. The rocks were never broken down. That's going to be a bit of an issue, engaging on top of this. He's got some storms. Scares off the Terran army initially. Opens away from him now to get on top of the tanks, but those tanks are dealing so much damage. I don't think MaNa was expecting to get blown away by them as he pushed in with the army pushed out. Zealots run by to the top side. This actually is pretty nice. Grabs a couple SCVs and denies a pretty significant amount of mining. Hopefully the distraction allows him to get in here and finish off those last couple of tanks. Storming the bio. Ooh! Kelazhur bathes in it. Most of the Marines go down. It's only really Marauders that are left, but Marauders can deal with these Colossus. Marauders can stim and stutter and focus fire. And oh, what looked like a great engagement out of MaNa ended up costing him all of his big units. The Templar went down. No more Storms, no Archons. The Colossus falling. In fact, that's enough to just trigger a GG. And Kelazhur is going to tie up the series 1-1. Nicely done, Diego. I don't know the map order, by the way. Players have been hosting the games today, which is actually a very welcome break. Wardy is so angry. What's this clip? I guess while we're waiting, I can watch this.
Because I don't care what you watch if you're just going to complain and bitch and be toxic for no fucking reason other than the fact it's the internet and you get your dick hard jacking off to the fact that you have to be like... Wee!
First off, gonna download that clip really quick. There are some sound bites I can take out of that, but secondly, I'm guessing somebody got to Wardy. Somebody got under his skinny skin on that stream, and that feels bad, man. I've been there. It was because people were complaining that it was a live replay. Okay, in fairness to Wardy, though, right? we broadcasters, we get this question all the time, and it's the fucking, I swear to God, it's the ESL rerun channel's fault. Because they run reruns all day, so people are like, oh, is it live? I don't actually know. And it's a genuine question you can ask over there. But Wardy and Rifkin put out so much real content, it's really annoying when that innocent question over there constantly gets asked over here. It's like, in a weird way, almost demeaning? I don't know. But we're going to hop into King's Cove. I'll see you guys in game. Welcome back. We're getting into game number 3. First, game 3 of the day. Spawning here on the upper left side with 1 point, it's Team Liquid's MaNa. But he's also got a point to the bottom right. It's going to be the Red Terran, Kelazhur. And LG Kush just subbed for 10 months during the intro, so the trigger on the, I guess, alert didn't go through. But thank you very much for the 10 months. He says, yo, Riff, have a great stream. Base Trade TV for life. Thank you, dude. All right, look, there's a lot of commentary I should probably break down in terms of what happened in that last game, but I can't, because guys, I can't. It's like we're gonna explode if I don't gush about these headphones. The sounds have been so nice this stream. Like, I've never heard StarCraft sound this good before. And because I'm using the same sound card as my microphone, what's a little weird is every time I speak, I am hearing my own voice back. Not to the delay where it's like confusing to speak or anything, but it's strange hearing myself. And I sound like I've listened to myself for years editing videos and watching VODs. Like, I've heard myself for years and I've never adjusted to how my voice sounds. I've always hated the way my voice sounds. But yo, through these fucking headphones, I'm like, I sound good, dude. Like, now I get it. Now I see why people like don't leave the stream right away. I've got not too bad of a voice. And I'll fucking accept it now that I've heard it through good fucking ears, man. Ah. But self-serving aside, yeah, I told you guys we would fiddle with these headphones. I wanted to give you the most honest, the most real opinion I could. And my opinion from yesterday has not changed. We've been live for, what, about an hour and a half now? I don't even notice that I'm wearing these. It's so strange. The cord is a little weird to get used to because I've had a wireless headset for the last 3 or 4 years, but yo, this is nice. What are we talking about? If you type ! mass drop, it's a brand new headset. I don't know. It just came out apparently. And they sent me one to test and unbox and all that, and oh, it's good. Now look, obviously some of you are gonna feel that I'm shilling. That's fine. I don't care. I've got nothing to prove to you. I don't care if you buy these or not. But I'm telling you, if you do, you're gonna be treated to some really fucking good sounds. I wish I could play more copyright music without getting in trouble. I just want to find something with a lot of bass, because it's like the bass in these headphones is, I think, what makes it sound so good. All about that bass, 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 no treble. Anyways, Widowmine's weapon of choice for Kelazhur. This will not actually work out so great for him. His opponent, MaNa, if you've been watching the production tab, he did go for the Stargate, and it wasn't for an Oracle. He's getting Phoenix out. Phoenix will, of course, be able to poke at the medevac and keep it from necessarily even getting into the base, but more notably, it will scoop up those Widowmines right out of the ground and keep them from firing. Crowd controlling one of the Hellions while he deals with the other. I mean, it kind of works. One Hellion is not that great for getting damage done on probes.
Mom, it's
otherwise,
space. I was born of rat attack.
Even that sounded good, man. I hate it. Oh, what is happening? Oh, thank you very much for the 301 bits, Hella Zergling. But yeah, man, one single Hellion's not gonna get that much done. 2 Hellions maybe, but he needs the splash. And speaking of splash, 4 Widowmines head across the map. He's just used his energy picking up Hellions, so he won't actually have the energy to deal with these Widowmines quite so promptly. Maybe the Adepts kill one and the Phoenix lift up the other, but there's 4 Widow Mines he's going to have to deal with if these go through. Slipping some rat-a-tat into those headphones. Yep, that's exactly what you did. Alright, these Widow Mines are lackluster. Not that impressive. And because he doesn't have Drilling Claws, they're revealed. Okay. So not great, Kelazhur. Not awful. It does suck that the medevac did get picked off. That's usually the best saving grace, is that you keep the medevac alive on the back end, but yeah, that was a really good probe splitting on a MaNa. And some really good reaction time too. But he saw that coming. It was the only attack coming, so when it's the only thing and you're not distracted, less impressive. Regardless, the Viking gets picked off over here, but the Cyclone and the Marines kept the Phoenix from sticking around for too much longer. It would have been a real shame to lose that Cyclone. The Cyclone, by the way, a lot of Terrans are starting to do this, where they just get like the one Cyclone, whether it's leftover from the early game or intentionally built later, because a single Cyclone can deal with Warp Prisms instead of leaving like a full squad of Marines in your main base and building 17 missile turrets to try and zone it out. The Cyclone can work out actually very well for that. Not so great against the Phoenix. If it gets picked up, it's only got 120 health. It's just going to fall apart like it's made of junk and maybe a little bit of duct tape. But yeah, it's mostly going to be good. Versatile unit to have help defend. Barracks are being finished up here with their add-ons. So we're going to see some production finally start up for Kelazhur. Oh, that's a yawn. I don't know where that came from. Actually, I do. It came from a distinct lack of sleep. But it's bio. So Sim starts up a little bit. I don't even want to call it late. I don't think that's fair to say, but it will be a later stim, meaning that if MaNa was pushing for some all-in and not taking a third base, Kelazhur wouldn't be able to take that fight, but that's not how this is going down. MaNa's taking a third base. He's putting Colossus. He's macroing. I don't think Kelazhur has to worry too hard. But the thing that's scary for me is Kelazhur's vision for everything has been kind of lackluster. Aside from those Widowmine drops, he's had very little to no scouting. He doesn't know what units are being prioritized right now. And these Phoenix continue to distract him and keep him at home. Really annoying too, because the observer sees the army splitting, so he knows where the lesser amount of units are. Of course, that's where you end up sending the Phoenix. Don't know what that observing was just now. That was slip and slide. I have no clue what caused it, but hey, we're done. We're back. 2 Widow Mines more being produced. I like having a good chunk of these out, but the problem that we're going to see, and I think we've seen already with the Colossus play before, they just don't have the range to compete later on. They're really good at getting some surprise elements off, whether it's dropping on probes or maybe your Zealots weren't expecting Widow Mines, but ultimately, I don't think this is going to win in the game by any means. Having some in the army is always good, don't get me wrong, but production emphasis here has really got to be on that bio, whether it's Marauders, Marines, because these Phoenix, while they are the focal point of attention right now, they're not what he needs to worry about. He scans and sees the Colossus. This is a really nice confirmation to get too. It's pretty much expected and assumed because this is what people are doing. It's the meta, yada, yada, yada. But confirming that it's not something off meta and something different, something strange, not a bad feeling either. Not to mention he confirms third base being saturated. He saw the probes being sent over. So now he knows timings of this. That is going to make him feel comfortable enough to build a 4th command center. I'm not sure if he'll be able to necessarily take a base with it this quickly, but at the same time, if MaNa ends up playing a little bit passively and greedy and takes his own 4th base, that's where Kelazhur can get away with it too. Zap Like Roger says, how are you feeling? Any better? We need you to stay alive so you can keep on with the casts. Yeah, I said this earlier in the stream, but just a quick repeat. I'm definitely feeling better every day. Still not 100%. That's whatever. Yesterday's cast went really well for the first like 3.5 hours, and I really started feeling the stamina loss on the last best of 3 of the day. I'm not sure if we'll see that repeat here. If we get really long games, then yeah, it'll probably happen, but doing my best, man. Thank you, Roy Kyle, for the $5. I'll read your message in just a hot second because we maybe have a fight happening. Nope, just kidding. Good guy MaNa was like, oh, you got a donation? Go ahead and read it. Are you ever going to open my gift in Pokemon Go, Kappa? I haven't played Pokemon Go in nearly 2 months, and I feel really sad about this, actually. Obviously, the last month, I haven't been able to physically walk anywhere, so that was out. And the month before that, I was just, frankly, being fat and lazy. So I gotta get back in Pokemon Go. I've been watching Nate and a few others tweet out about their shinies that they've been grabbing in community days, and I've missed those community days. And to be honest, my favorite memories in recent years was just flying down to California for a weekend and playing Pokemon Go with like Nate and Fastfy and Kara and everybody. Like, I gotta get back in that Pokemon Go train. You know what? That donation message was exactly what I needed. After the stream's done today, I don't care how tired I am, I'm gonna go find at least a Pokestop, give it a spin. This is an awkward engagement. Kelazhur did not need to be out here. If this was, say, over here, then it's potentially providing pressure to an expansion and stopping that, but he had a line of Widowmines in the sand, some tanks set up, but there was nothing to threaten here. There was no positional advantage to gain. I just don't know why he was out there and caught like that. You say that every time? What do I say every time? That I'll get back to Pokemon Go? I'll get back to Pokemon Go, I swear. Jules TV, thank you for the 100 bits. Pokemon, get out. Okay. Weeb's out too. Yo, I gotta talk to you guys about the Pokemon anime, but hold on. Before we get too weeby, we do have a pretty big attack on the south side. Stalkers and Colossus wrapping in. Takes out the missile turret pretty quick. There's not that many Vikings. Most of them have been revealed, but 9 Vikings cannot necessarily dive for this with the Stalkers and the Sentries helping out with that, but if there's an angle of attack made possible because the Stalkers are, say, blinking on top of Liberators or fighting your Marauders, then Kelazhur's actually got a better army, in my opinion. But not with the current way this is set up. But okay, I haven't seen Pokemon anime-wise for like a decade, right? I remember he went to Johto League and moved on, blah blah. Now we're like in this Alolan arc with Pokemon Sun and Moon. I have Pokemon Sun, I never finished it, so I don't know the story. Oh, I'll tell you the story of this battle. It was bad for the Protoss if he decides to dedicate. That's a lot of Marauders. But I guess there's like these Ultra bugs now or something. Like I guess it's supposed to be legendaries or something. I don't know. I don't watch the show, but I watched this clip where Beware went fucking like Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct and destroyed one of these bugs. It was the sickest Pokemon fight I've ever seen. All right, no concussor shells actually to note. That's going to be a little awkward for the fight, and I'm not sure if he's worried about that or not. Sometimes concussor shells doesn't matter. Bigger units don't get affected by it as much, and it's more for zealots and stalkers than anything else. But the, oh my god, the surround. Oh, he's keeping that alive too. MaNa very distinctly force-fielded it off the left side. Does get the base, so worth it in the end. He force-fielded it off the left side, decided to dodge the fight in favor of killing the base. That was a really risky move, because with all his focus fire on the base, that's where and precisely why Kelazhur tried to force a fight. He's so close to repairing that planetary, though, and I really, truly thought for a moment that wasn't going to go down. One of these Colossus is so low, 2 health. If he breaks the shields, if he sneezes at it, it falls over. There you go. Ka-choo! But Kelazhur still lost the planetary off the back end of this, which it's going to hurt, no matter how you paint that picture. The pressure continues forward. The army out of Kelazhur is not going to be able to match these disruptors. He's dealing with the Colossus and the Phoenix okay, but one decent disruptor shot. And like half those Marauders are gone. First disruptor shot, though, missing. Not so great. Not so good. Colossus walks way too deep, way too forward. Gonna lose that forward Colossus. SCVs are dying. They were pulled to the fight. 15, 16 go down. A couple of Zealots in the mineral lines. This Colossus is just firing on literally nothing right now. It's a lot of wasted damage. But it's a bit of a massacre here at the base. And while he can't quite get like a killing blow, it's enough damage to force Kelazhur out. GG's get called. And MaNa will be the one to advance to the winners match. Very nicely done.